Okay, how are we all doing today?
Doing well.
Good.
I'm good.
Hi, well, good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I wanted to introduce the newest member of our team, Mike Schaefer. He'll be joining us now. Mike on the call is Bridget Wynn, our Chief of Marketing, leading out the Bacon Wagon product, and also Eleonora, who's out in Armenia, leading our research and design team. Everybody say hi to Mike.
Hey, Mike, welcome to the
Hi.
team.
Glad to be here, guys.
Okay, so for purposes of today's meeting, obviously we wanted to introduce Mike, but also get some status updates from the team and bring Mike up to speed. So Bridget, why don't we start with you? What's been going on with marketing since we last spoke?
Yeah, so for the past couple weeks, I've been working on analyzing sales trends for products that are similar within BEMCO, and then as well as competitor products. What I want to start doing is working on hosting preliminary focus groups based on our client list that are aligned with the market research analysis that we performed earlier this year.
Okay, great. I mean, that sounds like a really good start. Now, what are some of the next steps we can expect so I can report that down the pipeline? And is there anything that we can help Mike help with immediately?
While Eleonora is completing some of the final testing, I think it's important that we start bringing in focus groups to see some of their initial thoughts, concerns, and comments from our targeted consumers. It'll be important to see what they think about these two options we're kind of deciding between right now, involving the real bacon and just the simulated aroma of the bacon. I will say that based on research on similar products, if using the real bacon in our product, I'm anticipating that there's going to be additional concerns and objections that we need to overcome and that are brought up. And this may potentially eliminate a huge market of children that are consuming this product, as well as international use. I don't think parents would feel safe having this product targeted for their children, and it may require huge registration hurdles and expenses while we're trying to sell internationally. It would be helpful, though, if Mike could get me a list of our clients that we can look into bringing in for this study.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, I think we're all on board. We want to definitely minimize as much backlash as possible. Bridget, can you forward me the updated strategic marketing plan you and your team have developed? First of all, I'd like to share this information with Mike. I think it'd be helpful for him to understand the full scope of this project, including the market research you analyzed to help kind of uncover who our target audience for the Bacon Wagon is. These details really will help him, I think, understand what criteria we're looking for, especially in the focus groups. Do you think there's any additional internal resources where I can offer my support in this marketing initiative?
Yeah, I can send that over to you today. And I think once we conduct a few focus groups and receive feedback, I can further enhance our strategies and visions by working closely with Eleonora's R&D team and the multimedia departments. It's critical that we're all aligned and moving in the same direction throughout this process. And I'm considering using some KPIs and SMART goals when we're involving the other departments, but I'm not sure if that would be effective since we're still in the early stages and there may be changes that happen.
You know what? I think those are really good ways, both effective ways to capture the progress and stay aligned. But besides the focus group and the marketing department, what else do you envision using the KPIs for?
I think because it's in the preliminary stages, we'll focus on working marketing campaigns for the top 2 selling segments and use those KPIs as strategies as we're rolling this program out. Unless we hear something dramatically different from the consumers in the focus groups, I plan to focus on the retail and e-commerce segments based on what I've gathered from the research we've done beforehand. With the holiday season around the corner, I want to work on advertising for direct-to-consumer sales through our company website, Amazon, and then as well as our top retailer, Target. What do you think about this plan?
I think that's a really good use for the KPIs, especially since I think once the prototype is finalized, we'll be able to really streamline this to consumers as quickly as possible. My only issue is, don't you think we should be focusing on other big retailers such as Walmart, Costco, Macy's, in addition to just Target? I mean, those are some of our largest retail customers, and we wouldn't want to overlook their potential, especially with the holidays coming up?
Yeah, that's another great question. And I believe that this strategy will be most effective. Like I said, there are a lot of things that may change with the actual product that we're rolling out. So when we build out our marketing campaign and the advertising, we want it to be kind of broad so it will translate well when we pull in the other consumers in the retail segments such as CVS, Walmart. The campaigns that we create will easily be able to work as a template for those markets as well. And we hope to go live with this, at least internally, November 1st, so it can have a go live launch date on Black Friday.
That's excellent. I think we want everybody smelling bacon by the time holidays are around. So
Exactly.
that makes perfect sense. I definitely support you in this strategy. Why don't we reconnect in a few weeks, maybe after you've hosted a few of the focus groups and we've had an update from Eleanor in research and design. We can actually speak with her now on this call, and I'll we'll let you know what updates she provides, and she'll indicate, I guess, if Black Friday is a realistic and feasible launch date. So let's be
Great.
excited.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Bridget. Okay, Eleonora, how you doing over there?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. So what's the progress on these prototypes? How we looking?
Yeah, so we have already done the research. So we've narrowed down prototype options to 2 of them. The first option being cooking with probably like 3 strips of real bacon 10 minutes prior to the alarm going off, so that you can actually wake up with both the smell of bacon and crispy bacon. Option 2 actually includes aroma that replicates bacon scent, also being released around 10 minutes before the alarm goes off.
I mean, if you're asking me, those 2 options sound lovely. I think we can all agree we love real bacon, but other than me, how are you feeling about these specific options though, and finalizing these prototypes? Do you feel confident with these 2 final options that you guys finalized on?
Now that we're starting the development of both of the prototypes, I'm feeling a little bit short-staffed here. We have really good engineers, but if we wanted to complete this around the holiday time, we'll need to be working on around the clock to finish both of the prototypes for marketing.
Okay, and I definitely hear you about being short-staffed, but other than that, are there any other issues that you feel like you're having as you enter the prototype stage?
What I am concerned about, if I'm being honest, is the real bacon prototype. I want to be very cautious with this development because I have some safety concerns with the raw bacon just sitting out all night and the heat that will automatically turn on when you're unaware of it. There are just some safety and regulatory concerns that I have with the real bacon prototype, so we may need some more time for that.
No, I definitely hear you. But good news is that we have Mike now who can help us organize and gather your team some safety, regulatory, and compliance information that I think your team will be able to use to help you develop the prototypes and help you feel a little bit more easy with that. What do you think?
Well, do you think that we should just focus on the aroma prototype for right now, so we can get something over to Bridget's team as soon as possible?
I really want to make sure that we're building something really, really innovative here. I mean, real bacon is a one-of-a-kind smell. Who doesn't want to wake up to the real scent of real bacon? So I want to make sure that we're still working on the real bacon prototype as well. But I also understand that we have deadlines that we want to meet, both internally and for Bridget to also start her new phase of marketing. So for now, why don't we do this? Why don't you allocate 70% of the staff to expediting the aroma prototype? And then we can still have a small team, the remainder 30%, working on the real bacon prototype. And if we need to reallocate resources down the line, we can certainly revisit. If we do that, when do you think we could have the first aroma prototype ready?
I'm thinking probably around like 3 weeks.
Okay, let's do 2 weeks. Okay, if your team can work on it, especially if we're really allocating the resources, and that way we can have 1 week buffer to make any tweaks if necessary. And then I'll be sure to touch base with Mike immediately, and we'll get you all the team that your info needs to help expedite the prototypes. All right?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You be good. Okay. All right, Mike. Well, you heard Bridget and Eleonora. Do you have a good grasp of the tasks that are assigned to you?
Yes, I believe so. I'll pull that safety and regulatory data for Eleonora as soon as possible. However, since we have international clients, do you want me to pull that information as well?
You know, that's a good issue to bring up. But for now, let's leave international out of this. I think since we're kind of on a deadline and, you know, we want to do this as quickly as possible with the holidays coming up, let's just focus on the US safety and regulatory compliance data so we can have Eleanor's team just fast track the prototypes in time for the US holidays. And then, you know, maybe we can revisit the international, you know, aspect of it at a later point, but that's a good idea. Just make sure we keep in mind for the future.
That sounds good. I'll build the client list for that focus group for Bridget as well. I can cross-reference against the last 5 years of sales and create a list of clients who have purchased the most from us in that time frame. Or I can, because of COVID, I could prioritize that client list based on the highest digital subscriptions to our services. Which would you prefer?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I hadn't even considered either of those options, but I think they're both really good ideas. You know, why don't we do both? You know, do both. And then that way I'll go ahead and discuss those two options with Bridget. And then we can circle back with you, you know, down the line if there's any other info that we need based on the method that we choose.
Sounds good.
I'm good. All right. Well, hey, we're glad to have you here. Okay.
Glad to be here.